Hey gang, happy Saturday afternoon. So it seems to be this is turning into a regular occasion lately where I'm making 2 videos and nothing like trying to pay attention to what's going on in the world and the community and everything else. So if you all noticed this afternoon, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, the Senate passed the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Okay, House is going to go vote on it Tuesday. Looks like it'll probably pass. The only caveat is whether AOC and her minions are going to balk at the lack of a $15 minimum wage being in there. Okay, let's just add insult to injury. Let's throw that back in, but who knows? All right. So basically, it's pretty much what we all thought: $1,400 checks to each person. Individual making under 80 grand or couples making under 160. So where they were talking about reducing it, they actually increased it because it used to be 75, 150. Now it's 80, 160. So where they were saying it was going to give it to less people, now they're actually giving it to more. Vote passed 50 to 49. There was one Republican who did not vote because he was at a funeral. So that made life easy. They didn't have to bring in Kamala Harris to break the tie, but either way, that was the way it was going to go. So here's the caveat that we need to be careful for prepping. What they added in there, besides the money for us, and we knew there were going to be all these bailouts to these states who couldn't manage their budgets, New York, California, Illinois, everything like that. There is money to help schools reopen. That's a good thing, okay? Of course, you get the state and local aid stuff that's going to go in there. You all tick that out. But this is the one, $25 billion to help the food and restaurant and bar industry. I'll actually give them that. That one's good, okay? 2 things that affect us as preppers. They did extend the unemployment, the $300 on unemployment, the federal edition, till September. So at least in my opinion, that's a good thing, because the ones who are actually hurting with this are the ones that lost their jobs. So, helping them out, I think that's a good thing. So I'm not bitching about that one whatsoever. The one I am a little worried about is $19 billion in emergency rental assistance. Okay, now remember I did the video, 4 or 5 days ago about the end of the month? And the Marauders are coming. It'll be the 1st of April. Well, looks like that's been kicked on down the road. And so I guess now that one has been extended out till September again. The only problem, and this is what I want you guys to think about, is, like I said in that video, if people are $8,400 in arrears right now, what good's it going to do if we add another 6 months on there? Okay? At $1,400 a month, that's what? That's another $9,400 plus the $8,400, or I'm sorry, that's another $8,400 on simple math. So, if somebody can't afford to pay $8,400 in back rent, how the hell are they going to afford to pay $16,800? All right. So whether or not that money, that $19 billion, is going to go to pay the landlords, that we don't know yet. Okay. But apparently they're going to mess around with this eviction moratorium and let these people continue to stay. All this is doing is kicking the can down the road, guys. All right. And it's just going to make further and further people dependent on government. All right. This is the thing. Again, this goes into the plan. This is getting people used to universal basic income. This is getting them used to the government's going to provide my housing. All this crap that we've talked about, all right, they're doing it still. But what this is going to really do is drive up inflation, which is what we need to watch. Okay, we all know inflation's a hidden tax. Simple as that, okay? We're seeing prices go up. The government doesn't have $1.9 trillion. We just crossed $28 trillion in the federal deficit as is. As soon as this thing gets funded, poof, we're at $30 trillion, okay? When's it stop? Because as long as the government keeps borrowing money, there's no way in the world they're ever going to pay off the principal. I mean, all we're worried about right now is debt service, paying the interest on it. That's where your tax dollars go, to pay the interest on the debt, because they're never going to pay the debt back. There was a thing I watched what the national debt is, this will make you sick, okay? If you took $100 bills and stacked them on top of each other, okay, our national debt would almost go from New York to Los Angeles. If you laid it all on the side, next to next to next, it's like 4,000 miles worth of $100 bills stacked on top of each other is what the national debt is, okay? So extremely scary to think about how far in debt the government is. But that's what we got to look at. I don't know if y'all saw this on the news. I'm just putting it out there. Inevitably, this is going to be something we're going to talk about on the live stream tonight. Yes, it'll be 9 o'clock tonight, as usual, 9 o'clock Eastern, right here. Same format as always, doing the Q&A and everything. But I have a feeling a lot of people are going to want to talk about this because this is going to affect us all. Near-term good ways, long-term bad ways, okay? And like I said, anybody that's unemployed, hey, I'm all for you getting some extra help because I know some of these states pay a pittance in unemployment. It was at Missouri or Mississippi is what, $250 a week? $1,000 a month goes, maybe pays your rent, okay? Let alone food, electric, everything like that else you need, okay? So the extra money there is definitely helpful. I'm 100% in support of it. The stimulus checks, I think, are idiotic, and I haven't even gone into all the pork that is in this thing. But, again, it's politicians. There's I think 12% of the $1.9 trillion is actually going to help the American population. The rest of it is going to bail out companies and, again, gender studies crap and all this sort of goofy stuff, sending all the money. We're borrowing money to figure out stuff in Indonesia again, whatever it is. So, yeah, we'll probably talk about quite a bit of this afternoon. I'm going to be taking a look around to see if there are any other bits of information I can find in the next, about 4 o'clock here. So I'm going to see what other kind of information I can find so I can share it with you this evening. But here's where it stands, guys. Like I said, the House is voting on this Tuesday. They are hoping to have this completely signed by the current administration by the 14th, and expecting checks to start going out shortly thereafter. So early reports are saying that we will probably start seeing these checks come in somewhere around the week of the 21st or the week of the 28th. So somewhere right there before the end of the month, which makes sense because if the moratorium was going to end at the end of the month, they've got to get that money in people's hands before the end of the month. So that's what we got on stimulus, guys. It passed for good or for bad. I guess that depends on everybody's outlook on things, but I wanted to bring you guys that this afternoon real quick. Just as per normal, get ready for a hell of a lot more inflation because we just increased the federal deficit about 8%. Have a good one. Pinball out.